Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for swinging by. I sure do appreciate it. If this is your first time with the channel, my name is Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Welcome to Fit and Fire. Let's get into this video. This time we're going to be talking about one of the quote-unquote new rifles that Zastava USA has entered into the market, and it's actually not a new rifle. We are talking about the Zastava USA PAPM70AB2. This is something that they talked about at SHOT Show earlier this year. They said that they had parts kits available for you guys to purchase, but now they have actually started putting rifles together from some of the parts kits that have come into the United States since late last year, early this year, whenever the case may be. There has been some people asking questions about, what barrel is on it, what receiver is on it, and stuff like that, because these were brought into the country prior to the barreled kit exemption change. We now are able to purchase kits with the original barrels, but these were brought in prior to that, so we do have a U.S. barrel and a U.S. receiver. We're going to touch on exactly what those are here in just a second. But I wanted to do a bit of a flyover as to what's going on with this. Again, try to answer some questions for you guys. Talk about my experience out at the range, because I did take this out yesterday as I'm filming this, and put about 120 rounds through it. Had a good time. Talk about that here in just a second. But I do want to take a second to talk to you guys about my relationship with Zastava. You guys know that I have been a huge fan of Zastava, excuse me, I mispronounced it, but I've been a huge fan of Zastava USA. I own an M70, a M90, M92, M85, and an M72. Videos coming out on that here soon. Be patient, but I do have those in my collection, as well as this AB2. I have never received anything from Zastava USA. I have purchased every single rifle that I have in my collection. If I do get something from a manufacturer, you guys know I'm going to let you guys know about that at the beginning of the video, which is what we're doing here. Also, I'm not getting paid to say anything good, bad, or indifferent about the AB2 by Zastava USA or anybody else. I'm going to talk about the good with the bad and let you guys decide whether or not this is going to be right for you. Am I a little biased when it comes to Zastava USA? I would say yeah, in favor of them, because I've had a very good experience with all of the rifles that I've ever owned from them, or other firearms, whatever the case may be. I've had a good experience with them. I've interviewed Ronco at SHOT Show. I know the marketing manager. So yes, I may be a little biased in favor of them, but I personally believe that I'm objective enough to call a spade a spade. And if there are issues, then maybe we should talk about those things. Is Zastava USA the best manufacturer out there? No. I do know that there are some concerns from time to time, and that's unfortunate. I would like to see them succeed and do things very, very well. But I also know that there are individuals that just want to shit on people just to shit on them, and I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to talk about the things that I really do like about a product, and I'm also going to talk about things that they could be improved or things that I just don't like. At the end of the day, a lot of things end up being personal preference, but I wanted to get that all out of the way so that we can breathe a sigh of relief and just kind of take this video as it is. I did purchase this. I did not get this sent to me, so I did purchase this with my own money, so I have no obligation to say anything good about it, but I am going to say a lot of good things about it because I think it's pretty cool. Now, I did want to get one of these in my collection because about 4 years ago, I saw an older version. I think it was one of the Century Arms versions of the AB2 at a local gun show, and I really just, man, I thought, oh, that's a really cool rifle. It looks awesome. It's got the grenade launching sight on it. It's the underfolder. I thought it was really, really cool. But at that gun show, they were asking $1,500 for it, and I was like, that seems a little too much. I had the money to buy it, but I was like, I don't think so. I'm going to pass on that. Fast forward to now, Zastava USA are putting these out, and I thought, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Price is right. Price is right. Coming in right around that $1,000 mark. So I know that's probably a little expensive for some people, but This is a little bit more of a collector's piece than it is anything else, and hopefully it'll break that down. So let's do a flyover, answer some questions here, and talk about the shooting experience out at the range as well. First and foremost, starting up with the front sight post, going from tip to butt, you are going to have a standard AK style front sight post with a flip up night sight. Naturally, this is not going to have that illuminated night sight on it because this kit is from 1990. So the illumination on it has long since faded. The barrel on this is going to be a 16.25-inch 14 by 1 chrome line barrel from AK Builder. And that's one of the big questions, was who's doing the barrels and receivers on this. AK Builder is the barrel. So that's something I thought was good. I'm happy with that. Now, this is just a standard button barrel. This is not a cold hammer forged barrel, and I know that that might be a problem for some people. They would rather have the cold hammer forged barrel because that's what the original rifle would have had. I think ultimately that comes down to a cost perspective maybe, and trying to keep this affordable for a lot of people. So if you want a cold hammer forged barrel, I mean, you could send it off and have it rebarreled if you wanted to, but ultimately this is a collector's piece, so I don't feel as if a cold hammer forged barrel is going to make this shoot any better or worse. I think that the barrel that's on it right now is good enough for me to take it to the range, have a little fun with it, you know, not put a whole bunch of rounds through it. Obviously, a cold hammer forged barrel is going to last longer, but I don't expect to take this to a rifle training course or shoot it in competition or anything like that. This is just going to be a collector's piece for me to just have some fun. So that is that piece of it. The gas block is going to have the traditional grenade launching sight with gas cutoff as well. So that's an aesthetic that I really do like about the Yugo patterned rifles. Moving back from there, you have some nice surplus hand guards on this, and I was hoping for some trench art on this. They did say that some of them will have trench art, but mine didn't, which is fine. I would have preferred to have some pretty cool trench art on it, but it is what it is. It's got some patina to it and just looks beautiful with this rifle. Moving back from there, we do have some markings on the front trunnion stating that this is from 1990. It says M70AB2 with the serial number. Serial numbers are matching on this, but one of the other pieces too is the rear sight block does not have a roll mark on there. And that's something that we did see from like 10 or 15 years ago when the AB2s were being sent into the United States by Century Arms. They did have a roll mark on the rear sight base, but from my investigation, my research online, what I can tell, or at least what I've seen online, take it for what you will, is right around 1988, 1990, they stopped doing that. So if you have one that doesn't have a roll mark on the rear sight block, then you should see that it is like 1990 or later. So that matches with what I've got here, which is pretty nice. The receiver is going to be the 1.5 millimeter receiver with the RPK style bulged front trunnion. We all know that the AB2s were done like that, and the M70B2 rifles were all done like that to beef up the rifle's ability to shoot grenades, and that's also the reason why we have the push button takedown lever for the dust cover. That is a feature that's carried over into this, which is nice. And the lower receiver, or the receiver rather, is going to be from Childers, which is something I really do like. That's the company that I always go to when I want to build out an AK. My AK Fuller build, the AK-74, 1988 Ishmash AK-74, that was done on a Childers receiver as well. So Childers or Morrissey, those are the ones that I would recommend. There's no obnoxious like stamps or roll marks on this that says like please read the instructor's manual or anything like that, so that's pretty nice. And they've kind of brushed this receiver up to kind of match the patina of the kit as well, so that's something I also really did like. The only markings that you're going to find is going to be here in the trigger well, which says PAPM70AB2 762x39 Zastava USA, Des Plaines, Illinois. For those of you who are interested, Des Plaines is French for the plains, just so you guys know. With that being said, you also have the underfolder style safety lever, which is actually something I really do like. I would love to have something like this on a lot of my other AKs as well, because I can get my index finger up on it and swipe that down, which is something that I would like to use for like competitions, stuff like that, if I don't have the ability to get a Krebs custom enhanced safety lever. The markings on the receiver are actually really cool too. They maintained the markings to reflect what it would have looked like in Serbia or Yugoslavia. And the U stands for Ukosinu, which literally translates to frozen or safe. The R is for Rafalna, which stands for burst, if you literally translate it into English. And then finally, the J stands for Jedinachna, which means single or semi. So that is something that I thought was really, really cool, and something that I picked up from my research as well. This is going to come with a surplus magazine, which is really cool. It did have a lot of cosmoline on it, and I've just kind of cleaned it up just a little bit. I need to get it soaked in some simple green to break down the rest of the cosmoline that's on it, but it ran just as you would expect, and as you would expect, has the last round bolt hold open follower on there as well. So that's something that I also really do like, to keep it in the same vein as the military rifle. So that's pretty cool. Finally, here on the stock, you do have the underfolder style stock, and a lot of people will get one of these and the underfolder rattles a lot and it's just real loose, and just it's not a lot of fun to deploy or to shoot. And this, I will tell you, has the right amount of firmness. There's not a lot of wiggle in this. It does move a little bit here in its locked full extended position, but it's not rattly. It doesn't seem like it's, you know, too loose or anything like that. And it will loosen up over time the more that you move the stock back and forth. So that's another piece that you're going to have to keep in mind. You may have to tighten this back up in the future, but just FYI, this came from the manufacturer with the, in my opinion, the correct firmness. So that is pretty cool. About the only other thing is that it comes with a standard Yugo style pistol grip. I personally like them because I have Doug's fluty size hands, and these are pretty small, so it just seems to fit my hand pretty well. So taking it out to the range, had a blast with this. I was kind of concerned because I know that the underfolders usually are not a lot of fun to shoot. They kind of beat up your chin a little bit, but I will say that this was actually really smooth shooting. It was pretty flat when I was doing, you know, double taps or whatever, and I felt as if this was a little bit softer than what I was used to with my Romanian underfolder. I have a Romanian underfolder called Anya. It's got some trench art on the handguard, which I thought was pretty cool, but that one seemed a little bit punchier than this. Maybe it's because of the, you know, heavier rifle with the thicker receiver and bulged trunnion. I don't know, but this did feel pretty nice to shoot and was a lot of fun to shoot as well. So I wanted to check the zero of this from Zastava, from the factory, to see how close it is. We're about 25 yards, maybe we'll call it 40 yards from the target here. And I just wanted to kind of get an idea of how close it is in its configuration straight from the manufacturer. So just put a couple of rounds down range. I'm just going to aim at a rock on the berm and see how close we are. just demolished the rock that I was aiming at, so I'd say we're pretty on. Yep, another rock killed. Yeah, this is destroying every single rock that I'm shooting at about 40 yards down range. So this is, in a very unscientific way of testing zero, this seems to be pretty on from the factory. So that's really, really cool. So let's talk about some of the things that some people may not like about this. First and foremost is, you know, they're going to be a little expensive, coming in right around that $1,000 mark. That might be a little bit more than what people are wanting to spend, but I will say that this is more of a collector's piece than anything, like I've mentioned before. I would have loved to have seen a cold hammer forged barrel instead of just the standard steel chrome line barrel. Again, not the end of the day for me personally, but I also do understand that people might be a little bit concerned with that. The only other thing that I will say is that some people may have an issue with the fact that Zastava USA put these together in-house instead of sending them off to someone like AK Builder or anyone else to pull these together. But to be frankly honest with you, at the end of the day, I don't think that that's a big issue, in my opinion. I think that this is put together just fine. All of the rivets seem as if they are pressed correctly. I don't see any gaps in them whatsoever. I'll give you some close-up of that so you guys can see exactly what we're looking at. So ultimately, I think that this is pulled together fairly well. The internals look really good. I don't see any excessive wear or anything like that. There is one spot on the front trunnion on the right side that seems to be a bit of a ding, but that hasn't caused any issues with it, you know, locking that round into the chamber or anything like that. It's on the opposite side of the lugs. So again, I don't think that that's a big issue, and that could have been something that happened during the demill process. I don't know. But ultimately, I think that this is a pretty well pulled together rifle. And if you guys are looking for something like this, that's a bit of militaria, you know, something that has some history to it, this might be something you consider. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I think that this being involved in the, you know, the Yugoslavian wars, that... it's kind of interesting. I'm not here to say that I support one side or the other, but the fact that this may have been used in combat is kind of neat. So anyway, so there you have it. There is the Zastava USA PAPM70AB2. Really cool. I'm glad it's in my collection, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. I have some accessories that's also going to be coming. It's in the mail right now. I just wanted to get this video out first, and then start looking at some of the other accessories that you can purchase from Zastava USA. Also have one of the Zvuk suppressors as well. So we're going to be looking at that not only with this, but also with the M72 and some of the other rifles that I have. So excited to see what else I can do with this, but let me know what you guys think. Sound off in the comment section down below. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Again, this is a rifle that I'm glad that I have in my collection, and I hope that you guys are interested and maybe pick up one for yourself as well. I'll have tons of information in the pinned comment or down in the description. You guys know the drill. If you guys are interested in subscribing to the channel, that would be a huge help. Sharing this out with your friends would also be a lot of help as well. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys next time. As always, freedom through strength. Catch you guys later. Bye, y'all.